Hi everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we are going to learn how to autofill NDAs using AI agent. So let's suppose I'm running a business and whenever I receive a new client or a new project, I want them to sign the NDA. Now doing this manually will consume a lot of time, so I'm completely going to automate this process. And to do this automation, I'm going to use Pabbly Connect. So Pabbly Connect is an amazing automation and integration software which requires no coding or programming skills. Here I just need to build connection between Google Forms, OpenAI. Here I am going to take my AI agent as OpenAI and then Google Docs. With the help of Pabbly Connect, I am going to build this connection in such a way that whenever there is a new form submission, the NDA is automatically generated with the help of OpenAI, and then I am going to create a document in my Google Docs. Now, if you want to learn the step-by-step process, then let me take you all to my screen. In this video, we are going to learn how to autofill NDAs using AI agent. For this, I have created an automation workflow where I have built connection between Google Forms, OpenAI and Google Docs. And now we are going to check this automation workflow once whether it is working fine or not. For that, I'm going to open my Google Forms which I have created by the name NDA. And now I'm going to enter all these details like the client name, company name, email, project details and start date. I'm going to click on this copy respondent link, copy this link to the form and paste that in a new tab. And now I'm going to fill some dummy details in all these fields. So let's say my client name is latest user, company is latest company, email address is latest@pabblytudes.com, project detail is collaborating on a cloud-based analytics dashboard for real-time marketing data insights, and the start date is, let's say, 13th May 2025. I'm going to submit this form and you will see that as soon as I've submitted this form, a doc will be automatically created as a PDF in my Google Drive. I'm going to refresh this page once. And here we can see that this doc has been created as a PDF and uploaded in my Google Drive. I'm going to open this. So this is the doc, non-disclosure agreement. Here are the purpose, definition of confidential information, obligation of receiving party. Here are the rest of the details. So this is how this automation workflow is going to run. And now to learn how to create this, let's start creating this from the beginning. In this video, we are going to learn how to autofill NDAs using AI agent. For this, I'm going to create automation between Google Forms, OpenAI and Google Docs with the help of Pabbly Connect. So this is the landing page of Pabbly and you can visit this simply by typing pabbly.com/connect in your browser. Now after browsing this website, we need to sign in to our Pabbly account. On the top right corner, you can see two options, sign in and sign up for free. If you are an existing user, click on this sign in, and if you are a new user, click on the sign up for free. As I'm an existing user, I'll click on the sign in. And here all Pabbly apps page has appeared, which is showing me all the Pabbly applications. I'm going to click on this Pabbly Connect, access now. And it has taken me towards this dashboard where I will be able to find all my workflows over here and all the folders which I've created over here. Now, if you want to create a new folder, simply click on this plus icon and from here you can create a new folder. For now, I want to create a new workflow for which I need to click on this create workflow button. And first I need to provide the workflow name and then I have to select the folder in which I want to save that workflow. So first let's name this workflow as how to autofill NDAs using AI agent, and now I need to select my folder. So these are the folders which have been created and here I'm going to select this as AI agent and then click on create. So here workflow created successfully. As soon as I click on create, two boxes have appeared in front of me. One is trigger, other is action. So trigger says when this happens and action says do this. So trigger is basically an event which starts the automation of a workflow. There can be only one trigger step in a workflow but as many as action steps as you want. Here in this workflow, I want to autofill NDAs using AI agent, which means whenever my client is going to fill this form which I've created in Google Forms, OpenAI is automatically going to generate the NDA and it will be automatically created as a Google Doc and then be uploaded in my Google Drive. So here trigger says when this happens. So when there is a form submission and then action says do this, then the NDA is auto-filled and then created as a Google Doc and uploaded as a PDF in my Google Drive. So here in my trigger application, I will be taking Google Forms and then in my action application, I will be taking OpenAI and Google Docs. So here let's quickly take my trigger application as Google Forms. And then in my trigger event, I'm going to take this new response received. Now I need to make connection between Pabbly Connect and Google Forms, for which a webhook URL is provided to me. And this webhook URL is going to act as a bridge to connect my Google Forms with Pabbly Connect. Reading this help desk, I'm going to build this connection. And to make this connection, let me open my Google Forms. This is the Google form which I have created by the name NDA document. It has all these fields. And now we have to make sure that before making this connection, the last field, we have toggled on the required button of this last field. And now after that, we have to go towards this responses and click on this view in sheets. And this spreadsheet has appeared in front of me. So the name is NDA document and the name of my Google form is NDA document itself. And then we have all these fields which I have in my Google Forms, as you can see, which means this Google Forms and Google Sheets are connected. And whenever there will be form submission, I will start receiving that response in my Google Sheets. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go towards this copy respondent link, copy the link to this form and paste that in a new tab and open this. And here it has opened. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fill some dummy details over here. So let's say the name is dummy user. The company name is dummy company. Then the email address is dummy@pabblytudes.com. Then here I'm going to enter the project details as sharing proprietary algorithms for predictive maintenance of industrial IoT systems. I'm going to enter the start date as 13th May and then I'm going to click on the submit. You will see that as soon as I've submitted this form, the response will be captured in my Google Sheets. So I'm going to open this spreadsheet and here you can see that we have received the response. Here you can see the timestamps record the date and timing of this form submission. We have this client name as dummy user, company is dummy company, email is dummy@pabblytudes.com, project details is the same. And then we have the start date. Now what I'm going to do, I want to send this data to my Pabbly Connect workflow so that this data can be processed. As soon as I've submitted a form, I have received that response here in the spreadsheet. And now we are going to build the connection between this spreadsheet and my Pabbly Connect workflow. For that, what I have to do, I have to go towards this extensions, go to add-ons and then click on this get add-ons. Here Google Workspace Marketplace will appear in front of me where I need to search for Pabbly Connect webhooks. And it is showing install because I have already installed this in my Google Sheets. But if you are doing this for the first time, make sure that you follow the same process and install this Pabbly Connect webhooks. After that, you install this Pabbly Connect webhooks, it will start appearing over here. And from here, you have to click on this initial setup. So this box has appeared in front of me and here I need to enter the webhook URL in the trigger column. So following the help desk, I'm going to enter this webhook URL. This is the webhook URL. This is the same webhook URL which I am going to enter over here in my spreadsheet. And then I need to enter the trigger column. So it says the trigger column will be a final data entry column on which if the data is added, the whole of that row data will be sent to the webhook URL. So here my final data entry column or the trigger column or the end column is column F. Trigger column simply means the end data column. Here, this is the final data entry column on which the data will be added. And as soon as we enter this trigger column, the complete row data will be sent as soon as the new form submission has been made. So the trigger column simply means the final data entry column or the end column. And as we enter this, we have to click on the send test and you will see the test data will be sent to my Pabbly Connect workflow. And here test data sent successfully. Now to make this setup, we have to click on the submit and you will see the setup configured successfully. Now we have to follow a very important step after making this connection or adding my webhook URL which I was provided in my Pabbly Connect workflow in the spreadsheet. I have to go towards this extensions, go to Pabbly Connect webhooks and then click on the send on event. So this will make sure whatever data we add in future, it is sent to Pabbly Connect. Now let's go back to my Pabbly Connect workflow and check whether I have received this response or not. And if I scroll down, I can see that I have received the response. The trigger column is column F. Start date of the project was May 13th. Spreadsheet name was NDA document and then the rest of the details. The name was dummy user, company was dummy company, email was dummy@pabblytudes.com and then the project details was this, sharing proprietary algorithm for predictive maintenance of industry IoT systems. So now that I have received the response, we can say the connection setup that we have created with the help of this webhook URL between Pabbly Connect and Google Sheets, that is successful. And now whenever there will be form submission, I will start capturing that response here in this workflow. Now moving on to the next step, whenever there is a new form submission, I want to autofill the NDA for that. So for that, I'm going to take my action application as OpenAI, which is going to act as my AI agent in this workflow. And then in my action event, I'm going to select this as ChatGPT and then click on connect. If you have an existing connection, go with save. If you don't have one, click on this add new connection. And now to make this connection, we have to enter the token. Following the help desk given below, I'm going to enter this token and I'm going to click on the hyperlink over here. And here it has taken me towards this API keys page. Now to create a new API key, you simply need to click on this create new secret key. And first you have to name this key. So let's say the name is test. The project will be default project and the permissions will be all, and then you simply need to click on this create secret key. A new API token will be provided to you, which you need to copy and simply paste that over here. As I have created this connection multiple times, that's why I'm going to select this as existing connection and then go with save. OpenAI is connected with Pabbly Connect, and now I have to enter the AI model and the prompt. In this drop down, we can see all the AI models which I have. I'm going to select this as GPT-4o Mini. If you do not find your AI model in this drop down, simply toggle on this button, remove this AI model and enter your own AI model. As I have my AI model, I have selected that. Next, I'm going to enter the prompt. So I'm going to enter the prompt in a way that I want to create an NDA for this client information details. So I'm going to enter the prompt like. So here I have written the prompt, fill this NDA template with the following details. Here I have entered the details. Just give me the response of NDA and not other details in the beginning and in the starting. Please remove stars from the content. So this is the prompt which I've entered, and I need to enter these details also because based on these details, this NDA will be filled automatically. So here what I'm going to do, I'm not going to enter these details manually. Instead, I'm going to use a method called mapping, which means I'm going to enter the data from the previous response. Now here I have received the response from Google Forms, and when I click on this, I can see this Google Forms, and when I click on this, I can see all the response which I have received from there. Here I need to enter the name as the dummy user, so I have entered that. And then I have the company name as dummy company, so I have entered that. The email is dummy@pabblytudes.com. The project detail was sharing proprietary algorithm for predictive maintenance of industrial IoT systems. And then we have the start date as this one. Over here I'm going to write this as start date. So over here mapping is important so that every time you receive a new response, it is taken into consideration in this field. Manually entering the data will make this field static and the information will not change even if you have received the new response. Over here, if I manually enter any detail, this field will become static, and every time I receive a new response, the result will not change. So as to keep this field dynamic, we use this process mapping instead of manually entering the details. Now that I have entered these details, I'm simply going to click on the save and send test request, and you will see that in no time we are going to receive the response. So here I have received the response, non-disclosure agreement. Non-disclosure agreement is entered into as of the 13th day of May 2025. We have the rest of the details over here. We have the purpose, definition of confidential information, obligation of receiving party. Then we have exclusion from confidential information. The agreement shall commence return of materials, no license governing law, and then here we have the rest of the details. So here we have received this NDA according to the details which we have entered. If you want to enter some more details or if you want to specify any other thing, you can enter in your prompt itself. Now that we have received the response, I want to create a Google Doc. Here I have already created a template for that, and I am going to create a NDA document for this particular client, and I'm going to upload that in my Google Drive so that sharing this as a PDF becomes easy. For that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on this add action step button, and then in my action application, I'm going to search for Google Docs, and then in my action event, I'm going to select this as create document from template and then click on connect. If you have an existing connection, go with save. If you don't have one, click on this add new connection, and now to make this connection, we have to enter sign in with Google. I have to choose my account in which I have logged in my Google Docs. After choosing my account, I simply need to click on this allow, and here authorization successful, which means Google Docs is connected with Pabbly Connect, and now I have to enter all these details. So the first one is template document. So from my drop down, I am going to select this template document as this NDA which I have created in my Google Docs. and then I'm going to enter the document name. So I'm going to enter the document name as the client name. Here I'm going to enter this as dummy user, and then if you want you can enter the company name also. So here I'm going to enter the company name also, which is dummy company, and then I have to enter this new documents location. So in this drop down I have all the document location. The location in which I want to enter this is by the name NDAs. So I'm going to select the document location as NDAs and then have to enter this NDA. So I'm going to enter the response which I have received in my OpenAI, which is this message content. This one is the NDA. Now I'm simply going to click on the save and send test request, and you will see that I'm going to receive the response just in few seconds. So here I have received the response. Let's quickly open my Google Docs. Let's go back, and you will see a document will be created by the dummy username. You can see that we have created this dummy user for the dummy company, and then this is the NDA. Now let's open my Google Drive, and here we can see this has been added in this particular document location also. Now to summarize, we took Google Forms as a trigger application where we made connection with Pabbly Connect with the help of this webhook URL. We submitted a form and received that response, and in this workflow then we moved to the next step where we wanted OpenAI. So we made connection with Pabbly Connect, and we selected the AI model, entered the prompt, entered all these details, and then we received the response. And then after that we received the response, we wanted to create document from template. So I've already created a template. I have named that document. I have selected the location and entered the response which I have received from my AI agent, and then we have automatically uploaded that Google Doc to my Google Drive. So this is how this automation workflow is going to run, and here we have successfully created automation between Google Forms, OpenAI and Google Docs with the help of Pabbly Connect. I hope you like this video. Thanks for watching. Not only these applications, but you can integrate many more applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. Now if you have any doubt, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any query, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com, and if you have any pricing related issue, you can visit the website given over here. Also, if you find our videos helpful, do share it with your friends and like and subscribe to our channel.